And people are hoping for the economy to improve, but as Michael Cantu explains, experts say it's still a waiting game to see if the hardships go away. He joins us now. Michael.
Yeah, Angie, Alex Salter with Texas Tech's Free Market Institute, a think tank that analyzes economics. He says the economy may not be as strong as some think, but it is doing better than expected. Economists and the general public hope pretty good numbers will keep coming in.
It might not be as strong as some of the most enthusiastic economists think, but I still think that these are pretty good numbers.
The latest round of reports shows jobless claims are up, but companies are reporting more profits. And in numbers released a week prior, job openings were more than 500,000 for January.
Actually, a pretty good argument can be made that if labor markets are strong and we're putting as many people to work as possible, that increases the supply of goods and services in the economy relative to the money supply.
The data is no guarantee the U.S. will stray from a recession, but it is reassuring to economists like Alex Salter.
These numbers don't square easily with that reality. It would be a very strange kind of recession that saw incomes falling while jobs were going up as much as they are.
This also comes at a time when many in the U.S. say they are struggling. New Gallup research surveys show half of Americans say they are worse off than they were a year ago.
I would still try and adopt a wait-and-see approach, but I would tell people that this is actually pretty good news, and we might actually be in stronger shape than we initially thought.
On the other hand, that same survey shows folks expect this year to be a turning point.
I still think we're going to be living and dying by the next data release. That just sort of seems to be the nature of the critter.
However, Salter adds one thing that may not go away soon: struggles in hiring. Bless you, Angie. Employers are more than likely going to continue to see issues in filling open positions. Angie?